Okay, so we are discussing in the last part about the hydrogen spectrum and how the Bohr atomic model was able to explain those results, the experimental result, these experimental results, and we can see that from Bohr atomic model we can easily, very easily we can explain this result. Actually Bohr did the back calculation from those experimental result to have the model, to have the postulates. Okay, so now we'll look into the success and the failure of the Bohr's theory. So that is very important because we have studied this Bohr atomic spectrum from few classes, last few classes. So first point is, with this Bohr atomic theory or Bohr's quantum theory, Bohr's theory, we can say the spectrum of hydrogen or any hydrogen like atom, hydrogen or hydrogen like, very importantly, atom can be explained almost, as we have seen accurately, almost. What is the hydrogen like atom? Hydrogen like atom means it must have one proton, not one proton only, there may be other proton, but one electron. Okay, that is the basic criteria to have. Then we can say that is the hydrogen like atom, just like helium plus or lithium 2 plus. Okay, in that case the proton number is not the same like hydrogen atom, but the electron is same, number of electron. So that is the hydrogen like atom. So for those atom, that is the most simpler case because there is no electron electron interaction part, because there is only one electron. So that systems, that molecule atoms spectrum, atomic spectrum can be almost accurately explained by the Bohr's theory. Okay, so now what is the second point? With the help of this Bohr atomic theory, the main features, main characteristic of the atomic spectrum of alkali metals also can be explained. The main features of the alkali metals can also be explained. Total atomic spectrum of the alkali metal, just like sodium or other alkali metals, potassium, these were not totally explained, but the main features were explained by the Bohr's atomic model. So this is very important. Okay, but these are the success. But what are the drawback or the failures? Failures are, this Bohr atomic model is actually valid, we can say, for the hydrogen atom only, because he did total calculation for the hydrogen atom. If you want to follow, want to use this result for other molecule, other atoms, that will not be applicable basically, because in that cases the number of electron is not one, there are more than one electrons, and the other interactions are there actually. So in that cases the Bohr's atomic model cannot be totally applicable, you can say. So Bohr's theory cannot analyze the energy of atom having more than one electron, or it can't explain the wavelengths of the spectrum line of the atom which have more than one electron, just like sodium or neon or argon, this atomic spectrum we can say. But still Bohr model is the most suitable model, we can say, which can explain, or we can say which can support the electronic configuration of any atom. So this is the first drawback. So we can't say this is drawback, this is the limiting case, actually the limitation of the Bohr atomic model. Similarly, actually every line, every spectral line we have shown, these lines here, these lines actually obtain, actually this is not one line, this is actually bunch of line, not band, but there are very fine lines are there. Okay, if you easily, you cannot distinguish those lines, you will see as a whole line, but using a very efficient prism, using a very more efficient or more, we can say, powerful prism disperser, you can identify these lines. In ordinary prism disperser you can't see these lines, but these lines are there. So merging this line, you can see this is a one line, but this is actually not a one line, this is actually bunch of lines. So these lines cannot be explained. The source of these lines, why these lines are splitted in these parts, this was not explained by the Bohr atomic model. This is the main drawback, we can say. This fine structure of every, those lines are called primary spectral line. Primary spectral line can't be explained with the help of Bohr's theory. Okay, so this is another limitation. This is not the drawback, we can say. This is actually the limitation. And the final part, this is the limitation. This is the drawback, that Bohr ad hocly considered that while revolving in the orbit, there will be no loss or no gain of the energy. This is totally contradictory to the Maxwell theory, the results of classical electrodynamics. Bohr did not explain that. Why? When the electron is revolving around nucleus, and electron is a charged species, so that means it's revolving means that has a we can say centripetal acceleration. So while having that centripetal acceleration, there must be, following the Maxwell electromagnetic theory, that electron must radiate some electromagnetic radiation, but that is not the case. Bohr postulated that, and that should be correct, otherwise those results cannot be explained using the Bohr's theory. But why the postulate is correct, what is the basis of this postulate, that Bohr did not explain. So that we can say, that is the main failure, that did not explain the say it did not able to explain why there is no loss or gain of energy while when electron rotates in the orbits. Correct. So this is the another this is the main drawback, we can say. So this was the success and failure of the Bohr's theory. Okay, so the last part of this class is the ionization energy and potential. So this is also important. First, let me give me the definition. Ionization energy. What is ionization energy? The minimum amount of energy required to ionize an atom of an element at its ground state. This is very important. Is called ionization energy of that element. Okay, so what does it mean? So we have to take atom of an element, let's say it's, if it is hydrogen atom, we have to take the ground state of that atom. That means the electron should be in the ground state, because that is the energy state of the atom. So that is the first and the main criteria. This is its ground state. Then from that state, if you want to ionize that, the ionize means if you make that atom to convert to a ion, from atom to ion, if you want to make that conversion, the amount, the minimum amount requires, that is called the ionization energy. Okay, for hydrogen atom, what is the ground state? That means when the electron in the n equals to 1 state. So at that state the energy is, like we know, total energy is minus 13.6 electron volt. Now if you want to make ionize, that means if you want to convert H to H plus, what does it mean? That means you want to kick out the electron from the periphery of the nucleus of the hydrogen atom. So that is the ionization energy for the hydrogen atom. So what energy should we provide? That is the case. That is the ionization energy, that by definition. So when it is H plus, in H electron has energy minus 13.6 electron volt. But when it is H plus, that means there is only one nucleus, there is no electron. That means electron is totally out from the here, from the field of the nucleus. So electron is there. That so means that electron is there means there is no potential energy, as we discussed. When the one charge has potential energy, when that charge resides under the electric field of any other charge. So that is the case when we have potential energy. But here that there is no potential energy, so potential energy should be 0. And we have to consider that case when the electron is just kick out. Electron does not have any velocity, so that it can't be moved. It is just outside the periphery of the periphery of the fields of the nucleus. Okay, so it should be out of the out of the field of the nucleus. So in that case, just electron is there. Electron does not have any kinetic energy, means any velocity. So it don't have any kinetic energy. So that is also 0. So total energy of the electron should be 0 here. So that means in ground state of hydrogen atom, total energy, that means potential energy plus the kinetic energy, total energy is minus 13.6 electron volt. But here when you have in H plus case, when you have converted it to an ion, so in that case the energy is 0. That means you have to provide that 13.6 amount of energy. So you have to provide 13.6 electron volt, this amount of energy. So this energy is called the just ionization energy. Okay, so this is the ionization energy. Now let's just the another definition. The ionization potential. So what is the definition? If you write quickly, the minimum potential, not the energy here. So to kick out that electron from the hydrogen atom, we need this ionization energy, but we actually give the potential. So that is the ionization potential. Let me write it formally. Minimum potential to be applied to an atom of an element in its ground state to convert it into a positive ion, that is called the ionization potential of that element. Okay, it's the same thing. Means we have to provide the ionization energy by giving the potential, giving some potential, we actually provide those energy. So that potential is called the ionization potential. As the ground state, the same thing, same definition. To convert in positive ion, the potential requires. But let's say there is one electron is there, any electron is there, and you are giving 1 volt potential. The potential difference del V is 1 volt. Okay, so now the energy will be, the energy gained by the electron, the energy will gain by the electron will be 1 electron volt by definition. This is the energy. The charge of the electron is minus E, and if you put that electron under 1 volt potential, then the energy will be gained by the electron is the 1 electron volt. That is actually 1.06, no, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Okay, this is the 1 electron volt. Now for kick out 1 electron from hydrogen atom, we need 13.6 electron volt. Okay, that means there is only one electron, so we have to provide 13.6 volt this potential. So this potential we have to provide, then the electron will gain 13.6 electron volt potential energy, potential energy, not potential energy, the energy, and using that energy it can be kicked out from the hydrogen atom. So this potential required, so this potential is actually the ionization potential for hydrogen atom. So it's actually the same thing. Okay, so this is the ionization energy, and ionization potential is 13.6 volt and the energy is 13.6 electron volt. So let me conclude here. So in this class we discussed the atomic spectra of hydrogen atom. We can say we have totally summarized the spectrum, and we have also discussed the experimental result of hydrogen spectrum, and then we discussed the how we can explain those results, the spectrum, from the Bohr theory, Bohr atomic theory. And after that we discussed the success and failure of the Bohr atomic theory, and then at the last part we discussed the ionization energy and the ionization potential of in general, and we have also discussed for the hydrogen atom as well. So up to this is the Bohr atomic model is completed, you can say. Now in the last in the next class, not last, in next class we will start the X-ray part, and it probably it will take 2 classes. In 2 classes we will complete the X-ray part, and then probably we'll do some numerical problems. Okay, so for this class let me conclude here. So we'll meet in again in the next class. Okay, so thank you.